Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. For this video I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, as well as maybe doing a little book review on it. Before you watch this video, if you haven't, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like my video and share it with your friends and family so they can also see it. Thank you so much and enjoy the video. Okay, so as you can see, this is the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child book. It's actually a play. It's not in novel format. Is that what it's called? Novel format? I don't know if it's I don't know what is. It's not okay. Let's just say it's not written as the same way as the first 7 books were written. So it's not really. It's a play. The other ones weren't plays. It's still good. I mean, it took kind of, because I don't really read plays a lot, so it took some getting used to read it and understand it. I definitely like the format of the first 7 books, but anyway, that's just my opinion. This book was actually released in 2016, but if you guys do the math, and if you read the first 7 books, you know that it was supposed to be released in 2017. J.K. Rowling also mentioned that. I think one of her fans mentioned it to her, and she said it or something like, I don't know. She mentioned it that it was actually, it was supposed to be released in 2017 because the first 7 books, or actually I should say the 7th book, the epilogue of it takes place 19 years later, and this book starts at that 19 years later. Actually, the first scene is actually the same scene. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's the same scene as the epilogue of the 7th book, the 7th Harry Potter book. So it was supposed to, 19 years later was 2017, not 2016, but whatever. It was released in 2016, and I'm not complaining. I really enjoyed reading it. But I have to say something. It's sort of like a fan fiction. It's not exactly. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's supposed to be with the first 7 books. It's like fan fiction. If you don't know what fan fiction is basically when people they read books and they really enjoyed it, or they read or they watched a movie or anything. They can basically take what the characters are, the scenery, like they can take the setting, anything, and they basically write their own like little short story based on the book or the movie or whatever. So this to me was kind of like fan fiction because it's kind of hard to believe that it was part of the first 7 books. But that's just my opinion, and it was actually really, I mean, fan fiction written by J.K. Rowling. I mean, that's pretty good. Well, it wasn't only written by J.K. Rowling. It was also written by John Tiffany and Jack Thorne. I really, really want to watch the play for this, but I doubt I'm going to. I mean, I know it's coming into, the play for it is coming into New York on Broadway in this, I think, the spring of 2018, which is awesome. But I'm sure the tickets are going to be wicked expensive, and I'm going to be having a really hard time convincing my parents to let me go. But it's okay. I hope that they make it into a movie or some sort of series or something so I can watch it on TV sometime in the future, near future, hopefully, but I doubt it. But yeah, so I'm really so let's just get into it. The review, or the actual review. This book is about Albus Severus Potter, which, if you read the 7th book, you know that he is Harry Potter's son. It's about him, Albus Severus Potter, when he went to Hogwarts, and it's he's having a hard time basically, and I'm gonna say something right now, so it's gonna be kind of a spoiler. So I don't want, if you guys can just kind of forward it, maybe like 10 seconds or something. Okay, so Albus Severus Potter, he was a friend. He's gonna become a friend of Scorpius Malfoy, which is Draco's son. So yeah, that's that. It's kind of like different, but it's unexpected, but that's okay. So yeah, and then the next thing in the book is also I would not read it if you haven't read the first 7 books, I would not read this because it's kind of it's just going to be kind of confusing. There's going to be some things that you might not understand. If you watch the movie, all the movies, and you want to watch and you want to read this, but you haven't read the first 7, I guess that could be okay because you kind of get the idea of it. So that would be okay, but you definitely should have an idea of what Harry Potter is before going on and reading this book. I would suggest this book for people who are 10. Well, actually, anyone who's read the first 7 books can read this. I don't think like I would have a problem with that if I was 10 or if I was 8 and I read all the. I think I would be fine with this. It's kind of the same level. The only thing though is it's written in play format while the others weren't, so that kind of took some getting used to because I'm used to. I don't think well, maybe I did for school, but like on my own, I don't think I've ever really read a play willingly. I just don't really like the way plays are written, but I actually did like this. It did take some getting used to because it's not really written in what's it called, in novel format. I don't even know if that's a thing, but whatever. So you can see like it's the name of the person, and then the person is talking, and then anytime like there's something else happening or someone is thinking, like it's in italic writing. So it did take some getting used to, but it's not that complicated. So it's basically about Harry's son, Albus Severus Potter, and his friend, which I mentioned earlier. I just don't want to say it again in case people don't want to know that. I don't know if I would consider it a spoiler, but just in case it is, I don't want to say it. I already said it earlier. I told you guys to skip forward. So, oh my god, I'm going on now. Okay, whatever. So yeah, it's about Albus Severus Potter and his friend, which I mentioned earlier. Them two are basically getting into a lot of trouble at Hogwarts. Basically like what Harry did, but something that could affect the world, and then they have to try to fix their mistakes, and yeah, all of that. It's also hard for Albus Severus Potter because his father, Harry Potter, was he was so popular, he's so known, and everyone expects his son to be like Harry Potter. So there's a lot of pressure on him, and things happen to him at Hogwarts, and he's just, it's really tough on him. So it's interesting to like, he's basically an oddball because he's different than his dad, but everyone expects him to be like his dad. So I guess that could be a lesson learned, that, you know, he's an oddball, but you can still do great things. Does that kind of sound weird? Or wait, he's an oddball, but he can still do great things. I don't know, whatever. So yeah, I would suggest this to anyone who is a Harry Potter fan. Harry Potter is my favorite series ever. I love it, and I did love this book. Not as much as the first 7 books, like I said earlier, but it was I would suggest. I didn't hate it. A lot of people they hated it, and a lot of people didn't see the point in releasing it. But hey, if you don't see the point in releasing it, don't read it. I loved it, and okay, so it's kind of hard to explain. I think I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense right now. So look, I loved the book. It was amazing. It was really good, but it's not as good as the first 7 books. The first 7 books were spectacular. They were amazing. They just like blew my mind. I'm such a big Harry Potter fan. I'm a Potterhead, but whatever. So the first 7 books were amazing. This was amazing, but on a lower scale. It was definitely not my favorite. Probably my least favorite of the Harry Potter books. But yeah. So that is it. I don't know if I made a lot of sense in this video, but I just I'm really passionate about it. So passionate about like anything to do with Harry Potter. So I'm so sorry if you guys didn't really make a lot of. But I'm just gonna say one more thing, just to make sure that I got my point across. This book is good for anyone who's read the first 7 books. I know I said that before. I know. Okay, but I don't know if the same age should read it. Like if you're, say, 8 years old, I know like little kids are reading it. If you're, say, 8 years old and you read the first 7 books, that's great, that's awesome. But this, I don't know if it would be, a little more complicated. It just takes some getting used to read it in the play version of it. But I think that anyone can read it, but it just might be a little more complicated for younger kids to read it. But that's just my opinion. And if you think that if you've read a play before, then you should be able to read this. I just feel like I don't want you to read it if you're not used to it, because then you will not enjoy it. But yeah, so those were my thoughts on Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and it was sort of a review. I don't know if you would consider it a review, because I don't. Yeah, so definitely let me know how I did in the comments with this video, and do not forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and if it was informative to you, and please subscribe to the channel, because I will be doing more book reviews soon and more videos soon. Check out my channel, subscribe, like, and share with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.